Hello and welcome back to video 2 in this series on Forever Sky. If you join me in the first video, we showed you how to get started, how to navigate and how to build your airship. In this video we're now going to look at how we can fly our ship. We know how we can survive, we're totally self-sufficient, and so now we're going to control our ship. So walk up to your controls and press E and you're now in flight mode. So W goes forward, S goes back, left shift goes up and control goes down. You can also lock your speed if you want to. So if we press left shift right now, you'll see us going up because we've got fuel in our engine, and this is as high as we can go. Now you need to be careful because if I was to come back down again, I could damage my ship. If I come down too quickly, I actually cause damage to my hull, and that would then need repairing. So please be careful when you are flying around. Debris, crashing, any of those things, there are storms, they can all affect your ship, as well as landing too harsh. So we're going to press W to move forward. It tells us we need to depart the location, and now it tells us we need to fly to the source of the single flashing light, and we can kind of see that in front of us. It's over here. We told you before when we went to the top of the beacon tower, your ship's okay, by the way. If it does get damaged, you can take a bit of a beating, but you do want to try and avoid stuff if you can help it. So in the first video I told you about these beacons, these flashing lights, and you can go to the beacon and remove the battery to turn the light off. And I also told you that later on in other videos it will become apparent as to why you need these, and you can see now this is how we navigate right now. In order for us to be able to get to where we need to go, and we're moving very slowly because we only have one engine, but in order for us to get to where we need to go, and we need to head towards this flashing light, and you can now see a second one in the distance, and again these are procedurally generated, and we're starting to see the stuff that it lives in this world. The synthetics, the metals, these are moths. We'll talk about those as we get closer. It's okay, they can't hurt you, they can't do anything right now. But we're just going to fly. We can see there's wind. So down here we can see our fuel, which is the top left bar, and the blue coming down is these moths. They're okay, they're not going to hurt us. The fuel in the top left is the bar that's decreasing. Then we have our speed in kilometers per hour. We have our altitude, and we can see right now we're at max altitude. We can see our bearing, and we can see wind. So right now we're kind of heading in this direction. But the wind is pushing us as well, so that's fine. And we need to find somewhere to land. And so what we need to do is make sure, based on our altitude, that we can actually land. And if you look around, some places are going to be easy to land on, some places are going to be hard. But we can move over here, and if we're careful, okay, you can see that we're okay. So we can actually come across to here, and we can land. And in doing that, it means that we can then come down. We use control. And we've now landed. We press E to move away. And we've now moved from one location to the next. And this is how we travel. Okay, so check newly discovered objects in the studies menu. So in the to-do list, we've moved to the new location. We've flown to the source with the single flashing light. We've landed, waited for the analysis, and now we need to check the newly discovered objects. So let's look in the studies menu. Looking under scanner, we have moved away from the communication facility ruins. That is completed. We are now at a radio tower. Okay, at the radio tower there are 4 things that we need to scan. There is the electric elements, the plastic scrap, and a wrecked basic turbine. So they're the things we need to go and find right now. So we can leave the ship, and we can walk around, and we can see things that we can pick up. So this is a battery, we can take that. Now this is an electrical element. We could either scan it, and I'm going to scan this to show you. We scan it like this. And that's now been scanned, and we've got some new research elements as a result of that. Okay, or we can just take it. Okay, so if we take it, and that was a transformer, another one which we already had. So now let's look around at the next object we need to find, which was the plastic, which is here. Normally plastic is around rubbish tips. Now we could scan this, or we could just take it. And if we take it, it automatically scans it. So now the plastic has been completed and the electric has been completed. The next thing we need to do is find a wrecked basic turbine. So let's take all this plastic scrap because we need this. Let's take some more here, look around. Alright, so we now have all of that. We're going to look around here. There's some more plastic scrap, so grab everything because you're going to need it all. And here's the beacon. So we're going to go up to the beacon. Once up here, we're going to look around. We can get some dirty water from here if we need to. That's great. Make sure you don't fall off. Be careful. It's easy to do so.
Diseases might become more severe.
Okay. So as we walk around, we're looking for this box. We take the box. If you look, there's a flashing light on top. You can see the flashing light. If we take the battery, no more flashing light. Okay, now we need to come down. So we're going to head down. This is the only way you can get batteries, unless you're lucky enough to find them on the floor. And here, in red, and it's always in red by the way, parts of the game and the ship and things like that are in red. And you need to scan them. So we're going to scan this. Once we've scanned it, we can now research it. So you can automatically scan things you can pick up, but you can't pick everything up. So if you can't pick it up, you need to scan it. And now, if we go back to our studies and we look at the radio tower variants, we've completed everything on this radio tower. Now, if we go to a different radio tower, it's possible there will be more things to scan. And that is where we have to start to explore. We have to start to look around. Right now, we've done everything we can do on this level. So we're now going to take this ladder and we're going to head down to the level below. Okay, so here we can look around. Here is a door. We can open this door. We can go inside. And inside here, press F if you need a flashlight to see. There's some synthetic fuel, more machine parts. Here we have a repair patch, which we're going to take. A simple lure. A football, which is nice. Machine parts. Open up this, take the fuel. Look around. More electric elements. Look around, more fuel. Now it's procedurally generated, so your loot will vary. But overall, you're going to get the same things. You're going to find machine parts, repair patches, fuel, and those basic elements. Now also, if you come to a new platform, you should, on most platforms, find a data card. If you take this, this is a metal floor. So it's going to give you new things for your ship. This one is a metal floor. Okay, so that's everything. There is also glass here we could extract. If we positioned our ship around here, we could harvest all of this glass. We're not going to do that right now. That's not a priority. But that is also something else that you could do. And so, for this video, what I really wanted you to do is to understand this platform. And that's it. Again, it's always going to look different. They're procedurally generated, so the look at the layout, it will change. But ultimately, you're going to find rubbish bags with plastic. That's going to be common here. You're going to find a beacon with a battery. And you're going to find a building that's going to have some glass that you can harvest. And also some basic items inside. Once done, head back to your ship. Now, I'm going to show you just a little cheeky thing that you can do at the moment. Let's say you've explored this platform and you're quite a long way back from your ship. And you want to get to your ship, but you don't really want to walk there. Well, the developers have been very kind in early access. If you press escape, you can click unstuck. Unstuck will take you back to your ship for wherever you are. We're now in our ship. And so it's teleported us from over there to here. If you want a way to get back quickly, that's the way to do it. And a little cheeky note, if you're dying and you fall and you know you're going to die, hit escape. If you unstuck quick enough, you can actually save yourself from dying by teleporting back onto your ship. But you do have to be quick. But that, I'm sure, won't be available later. But in early access, it is. So we're going to drink some water because we're dehydrating a little bit. And also we're going to not yet eat this, but we're going to bear in mind that we need to eat this soon. And we're going to look at what we've got. So quite a few new things here. Let's just break this down. We've got our synthetics, our metals, and we've got our glass. That was the first thing that we found. Okay. The second thing, and also transformers, we found those as well, but they're a little bit more advanced. Okay. So for the purpose of this video, we're going to put the transformers down there. We've also got our medikit, which we know about. We've then got food and water. So clean water, dirty water, clean water, and our food. After that, we know that we've got the next things that we found. Oh, and by the way, I'll put the lure on here as well, because the lure is part of the food. I'll leave that there. And then what we found here is plastic scrap and electrical elements. Plastic scrap and electrical elements. Okay, machine parts we did find, and we can find those as well, but we're going to put those here on the third line, because you use the basic you use the synthetics and the metals to craft these. Okay, and then we've got the batteries, we've got some fuel, the transformer can go here as well. So in terms of what we have, basic elements, basic resources, food and water, some more common resources that are crafted from the basics, and then some extra things as well. And that is what we've found so far. So now on the to-do list, it tells we need to expand the airship. The airship needs to be expanded with the airship builder to reach its full potential. So it's telling us to research the airship builder. Also, the navigation technology is telling us to travel smoothly in this world. Some kind of navigation is needed. Maybe something could be found at another type of location. Find a location with double flashing lights. Looking at the blueprints, we've done everything in here. So we can look at the food, the fabricator, and this basically tells us everything that we need to know about the blueprints. Okay, studies, having a look at the studies, we've covered this. Researcher, we can see everything here.
Diseases might become more severe.
Okay, so now we go back to the researcher, and there's a lot more that we can do. We can now use our plastic scrap to research plastic scrap. That way we don't need to find it, we can make it. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to research these basic components. So now we can use the deck extractor to get synthetics, and we can do that while we're here, while we're waiting. So we can get these synthetics while we're waiting. Look, there's a load here. Also there's metal here as well. We can do that. If we wanted to, we can actually pick up the deck extractor, move it to the other side. We could use it. Something else we can do. We're also going to look at electric elements. So we're going to research those as well. And we're just going to grab these while we're waiting. Also, we can do the buildings. If we look here on the building, if we take this, we get the metal from this. We've got 10 metal. So we can actually look at building structures as well. We can take stuff from those. Okay, so now that's finished. We can now do the transformer. So the transformer requires electrical elements and machine parts. So now we can see how we go from synthetics and metals to electrical elements and machine parts to a transformer. You can start to see the evolution of the tech tree. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and we're going to research this. Also, we need to sleep, so we can do a bit of sleep. Wait for our energy to come back up. We can see our food is coming down. That's fine. We can wake ourselves up. Go to our inventory and we can eat our boiled moth. Now we're totally fine, and drink some water and we're good. We've got everything that we need. Okay, we don't have any more food at the moment, so we will need to use our lure. You cannot use the lure unless you have space. This tells you lure path is obstructed, so we'd need to move the ship in order to use that. But we're okay for now. We don't need to do that. Okay, so now we can research the small storage box because we now have the plastic scrap that we required. So let's go ahead and do that. Because as we start to find more locations, we're going to start to fill up our backpack quite quickly. Now, I wouldn't craft too many of these. We've also now finished the battery, so we need to put a new battery in. That's fine because we had a spare one. And the next things that we can do here is a note sticker. Now that's going to require some glass and some plastic scrap. You can do it if you want. It's quite good. It's a little sticker that you can put down to be able to identify things. We'll do it so that you've got it so you can see it. If we use the fabricator at the same time, we can now make plastic scrap, which takes 30 synthetics. That's quite a lot. It's probably better to go and find it on the platform than it is to be able to craft it from synthetics. Electrical elements needs copper and synthetics to make, and we don't have copper yet. And a transformer needs electrical elements and machine parts. But you can see here on the components now how this is growing. Having a look at the tools, that's still the same. Looking at the water, still the same. Food, still the same. But now we have, as well as a bed, we have a small storage box, and that requires metal, synthetics and plastic scrap. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to craft a small storage box. We're also going to look at the research, and we can see we have the airship builder. We also have a basic turbine. So we're going to go ahead and research the basic turbine, because we're going to need that for where we're going next. The next platform that we need to go to, we're not going to be able to go high enough without a basic turbine. So we're just going to go ahead and research that now so that that's done. Okay, we're going to take our small storage box, and I would just place it here. We're just going to rotate it. We're going to stick it in a corner out the way. I wouldn't craft too many of these, because at the moment you really want to be getting the bigger box, which we'll get later. But this does give you 6 slots where you can store stuff, so now you can start to get some food, water, things like that if you want to. And as for research, the only thing left to make is our airship builder. That is electrical elements, and we need some more synthetics. So let's just grab that. We just need 2 of these balls. Okay, that's perfect, and from there we can now finish off this research and make the airship builder. Okay, so that's everything that we can currently research. We cannot do the tool charger because we do not have the circuit board or the copper, so we're still waiting for that. Every time we use the scanner, it does use up battery. You can see that by the yellow bar here. So we will need to recharge this in the near future, so just bear that in mind. Okay, so that's everything that's done there. We can now go and we can create, in tools, we can make an airship builder. It's going to require 1 solid state battery. It's going to require electrical elements and a transformer and synthetics. So guess what? Back out we go. We need 20 synthetics. So that's going to be 4 of these. Perfect. You might want to stock up and get a few. I'm just doing this for the video to show you. So now we're going to build the airship builder. This is another tool. Also the football, you can kind of place it down if you want to. There's no real good place for this to go at the moment. Just going to kind of put it there for now. Doesn't do anything, it's just decoration.
Printing completed.
Okay, so now we have an airship builder. We now have new blueprints. The new blueprints, if we go here, we don't need to research. They're already ready. We just need to use this device. So, before we get ahead into that, I just want to go back here and I want to finish off the fabricator. Everything in tools is now done. Everything in water is done. Everything in food is done. Here we've got the note sticker, but we don't have enough glass for that. So we could go and harvest some more glass. Honestly, right now, we don't need to. It's not important. It's just something we can stick on a wall or somewhere to identify. We don't need it. But here we have a basic turbine, and basic turbines are something we will need. So we're going to need to get some more electrical elements and some more metal. Well, metal is easy, we know we can get that. Electrical elements, in order to craft those, we need copper and synthetics, and we don't have any copper for this yet. So for now, we can't make the basic turbine. Not unless we go and find another platform, get some more electrical elements and do it that way. But we're not going to do that right now. Instead, what we're going to do is we're going to open up the ship builder. So we're going to use the tool, the shipbuilding tool, which at the moment, if I change my hotkeys, I've got my scanner, I've got my shipbuilding tool, and I've got my repair. And it gives me 2 options, build and remove. Now, if I put it into remove mode, I can actually start to remove parts of the ship. I can remove that door, the floor, I can remove the plank, the panel here, I don't want to do that. I want to build. So if I click build, I now have these new items. I have a small cockpit, I have a room, and I have a ladder room. I also have a door, metal floor, and a plastic wall. And then I have a catwalk. So this is how you can start to build your ship. Now if I wanted to build a new room, it would take 30 synthetics and it would take 15 metal. And that's something that we can do later. Now, in order to do this, if you look in the top right hand corner, it says ship load. This is the current weight that the airship can take with this balloon. This balloon can hold 500 kilograms, of which I'm currently 272. And what I want to do here is I do want to just extend this ship so that you can see how this works. Part of this video is really to show you how you can not only fly to this second location and learn how to fly the ship, but also how you can build the ship. So, we're going to go to the build mode. We want to put a new room, but this is going to require some more synthetics. We need 30 in total. So we need to get on a deck extractor, we need to find these balls, we need to make sure we gather them. It's a little bit hard to see here, but it's only because of the time of day, and also storms coming, it makes it harder as well. But they'll be here, you just need to look around for them. Sometimes you need to wait a few seconds, but they will appear. You can also see them just by the glimmer. There you go, there's some more coming in now. Also wind can change direction, can also change things, so... Okay, that's it. We now have enough material. We can come back inside, go to the build mode, and we can add a new room. Now for this, I'm going to step outside, and I'm going to place the room on the back here. Now our ship has grown. Now we can build up, down, left, right, back and forth. It's up to us how we do it, but we need to bear in mind the weight of the ship. And now because we've got this extra space, we can actually pick up this research station and we can move it back. We can place it here instead, and we've just given ourselves just a little bit more space, made it a little bit more roomy. You can also build out catwalks, you can change things, you can have it going around the front of the ship, around the back of the ship, and we'll talk more about that later. But at the moment, just understanding how this works. It's normally better to land somewhere where you can actually get out and move around your ship. You can build in the air, but if you fall off your ship, you'll die. So just bear that in mind. But that's it for this video. I just wanted to show you how to get to this location. And again, if I go to tab and studies, click on the scanner, this was the radio tower variant. That's where we currently are. We're on the radio tower. So we could go to a different radio tower if we need to, and we can continue to do that. But the progression in this story wants us to go to the double flashing light, and we can see that there. Okay, we can see the single flashing light on the right. We can see the double flashing light, different color, and two beams over there. So in the next video, we're going to be heading over there and looking at what's next. So thanks for joining me. Hope this was useful, and I will see you in the next video.